welcome to another episode of Jay Leno's Garage. We're here at the Quail, and this is a pretty exclusive car. I think the best car here, certainly the most labor-intensive restoration I've heard of in a long time. This is David Grainger. He's from the Guild of Automotive Restorers. That's your shop.
Yep.
And they restored this car, and this body is made of 100% magnesium, which is almost impossible to work with, isn't it?
Yes.
Was this your first time working with magnesium?
It was, yeah.
Now, you've probably heard of the Guild of Automotive Restorers. You've seen them at Pebble Beach and in all the magazines and stuff. And if this is an example of their work, boy, it's just incredible, because magnesium is probably the most impossible metal to work with, isn't it?
Yeah, it fought us the entire time we were building the car. It's still fighting us.
Yeah.
It still it offers issues, from time to time.
This is the earliest Type 57, is that correct?
Well, the chassis 57104 is the oldest T57 chassis in existence.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what would that be, 1935?
34.
34,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So that means mechanical brakes.
That's right. Yeah.
And we have...
Nothing fancy, no supercharging or...
No. Yeah. What are we looking at?
3.3.
3.3 liter, okay. 4-speed, of course.
Yeah.
The reason this was pinned, I guess, at the time was because the magnesium was hard to work with.
That's right. Well, they couldn't weld magnesium. You can only weld it when you can get oxygen away from it.
Right.
So, well, that's not true. We did find a way of gas welding it, but I don't think they did that. But they used rivets, and actually under the paint are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flush rivets.
Right.
Yeah.
And it would have been very easy to do this car in aluminum and fooled everybody here, but that's not your way. Your way is to do it as Jean Bugatti intended.
Well, yeah, and Chris Orstrom he was wonderful. I mean, as a patron, I couldn't have asked for anybody, but he shared the whole thing, and he insisted that we don't do anything on this car that, in the way of technology or practice, that didn't exist in 1935.
Wow.
And he's chairman of the World Monuments Fund, so he knows something about restoring things.
Well, he's a true artist, and this is a true piece of art. Let's talk about magnesium for a minute, because you start with a sheet of magnesium.
Yeah.
And I know magnesium burns at what, 1100 degrees?
1100, yeah.
But you can't bend it; it'll break. So you have to heat it to what temperature?
Well, we found we could pull a single curve, but a compound curve would just flatten out. So we would heat it to about 800 degrees.
So you're 300 degrees away from exploding.
That's right. Which with torches, you don't know. You have to get a very good feel.
Yeah.
And then you have to roll it very quickly.
Wow.
And then leave it sit, cool, and heat again.
And how many hours to do the body would you say?
We stopped.
Stop
After about 7,000, we went, let's just stop counting.
All right, after 7,000 hours,
Yeah.
stop counting.
A lot of people thought it was silver because it was photographed in black and white,
Right.
of course. But I came across a painting done by one of his engineers and given to Jean Bugatti. And in the painting, the car is this color of green. And the code name for the car was Crumb de Menthe.
Okay.
So it all sort of fit. And I went, you know what? You wouldn't give the guy a painting of his favorite car in the wrong color.
Right. Now,
So-
is magnesium very soft? Can someone
No,
put
it's very, very brittle
very
and very,
brittle,
very hard.
okay.
You can
Okay.
hit the compound curves with a hammer and they won't dent.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do that. Okay, and then you had to do this as well,
Yeah.
the riveting.
And the riveting was, that was the poor guys who did this, because I insisted that what we do is we take the photographs, we blew them up, computer enhanced them, and then every single rivet had to go exactly where it was, and we would overlay the photographs of this with the photographs of the original so that we knew exactly where every rivet was going to
Wow,
go.
let's talk about this. You made your own tires as well?
Yeah, these didn't exist anywhere, and because we were doing the 1935 Paris show car,
Right.
it wouldn't have been the right thing to just have black walls. So
Right.
first off, we had to get permission from Dunlop, and they don't exist. So Goodrich and Goodyear jumped in.
Yeah.
They took about 6 months, but we got their blessing, and then we went into making them. And I had my staff actually hand cutting all the letters, and then once again, computer blown up, laid over, so the placements would all be perfect.
And what is magnesium against steel or aluminum in terms of weight? Where does it fit in?
You can pick up, if this fender were off the car and without paint on it,
Yeah.
you can do this and pick it up and walk around with it.
So it's almost the equivalent of carbon fiber before carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So much lighter than aluminum, much lighter than steel.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Two guys can walk around with the body shell.
Yeah. Boy, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. How many in this body style did they do?
This was it.
This was the only one.
Yeah, and then they did the Atlantiques.
Right, the Atlantiques.
But the Atlantiques are substantially different.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
The headlights, have I seen a similar but different headlights?
Yeah, just a little bit. They did this once with the Atlantiques. This, you know, the fenders on the Atlantiques,
Yeah.
or actually the hood is the same level as the fenders.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
This
see.
stands up, and the Atlantiques are more bulbous. This flows a little bit more from
Yeah.
the back of the windshield. And
Now here's something I hadn't seen before. This is unusual. I've never seen this on Bugatti before.
yeah, but we actually had a perfect pattern.
And this is fuel,
Yeah, both sides.
both sides.
Yeah, it feeds the same tank.
Two separate one tank.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, classic Bugatti dashboard as well.
Yeah.
Nicely done. You know, it's so aircraft-like. You kind of remember Lindbergh had flown the ocean not that many years earlier, so everybody wanted aircraft design. So the exoskeleton was sort of very aircraft
It was,
as well.
yeah.
And of course, the dashboard. You know, Duesenberg had an altimeter because that was sort of
Yeah.
that was very aircraft. You know.
That's right.
So, nicely done.
Thank
Well,
you.
it is just a beautiful example of the kind of work you guys do. It's very, very impressive. I can't even imagine what a restoration like this would cost because it's more a labor of love than anything else. Something
is,
I
it
always
is.
found fascinating about Bugatti. This is a Delco fuel pump, isn't it? Is it Delco?
Yep. And some of them were French, but they still
Right,
were.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I do with mine? I would fill this with grape juice, and I would run a fuel pump,
Yeah.
and I would tell people the car ran on French wine, and then I would open it and I would drink it, and people would go, oh.
Yeah.
okay,
Just don't make a mistake.
Yeah, yeah. David, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
It's once again the Guild of Automotive Restorers. You guys are out of Canada, right?
Yep, just near Toronto.
Well, just near
Yep.
Toronto. That's easy enough to find. It's just near Toronto.
Yeah, just outside of.
Canada's not that big.
It's
No,
not.
No. But
I'm
very
glad you
impressive.
enjoyed it.
And thank you for taking the time to explain the car to us.
Oh, you're very
Just
welcome.
great.